We all have put a lot of effort into this day. We tried to make this day special, to make it the way it should be. Students from art class made the decorations. Students from the first grade did their best programming, preparing the food for you. You will hear songs and see a play.
Dobrý večer. Chtěla bych vás všechny přivítat na Českoanglickém gymnáziu. Jsem moc rádi, že jste přišli, protože jsme vynaložili mnoho námahy do tohoto dne. Snažili jsme se, aby se tenhle den povedl, aby jsme všichni užili. A studenti vytvořili dekoraci a studenti z prvního ročníku udělali všechno pro to, abyste dostali své večeře. Uslyšíte písničky a uvidíte i krátkou scénku.
I think that I can say for everyone that we are very happy that we could contribute to this day. We have learned something about history, traditions and people.
Myslím, že za všechny můžu říct, že jsme moc šťastní, že jsme se mohli naučit něco o historii, tradicích a o lidech. Je to velká motivace do budoucna, že můžeme využít něco, co jsme se v posledních letech naučili a i se naučit něco víc.
I want to say that just preparing for this was fantastic. Even though we had some doubts at first, we overcame them together with all the problems that came in our way. And now, even if most of us suffer from the stage fright, we are looking forward to enjoy this day.
Chci říct, že příprava na tuto událost byla obohacující, i když ze začátku jsme měli malý potíže. A teď, i když je mnoho z nás nervózních, víme, že si tento den užijeme a doufáme, že se užijete s námi. Děkujeme.
We hope you will enjoy the Thanksgiving Day with us. Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce Ms. Hopkor, our principal.
A teď bychom chtěli předat slovo naší paní ředitelce, paní Latkové.
Děkuji. Ladies and gentlemen, let me open today's Thanksgiving ceremony, and it is my great pleasure to welcome first our special guests, Brian Eichelberger's family. Brian, Pamela, welcome. Megan, Noel, Isaac, welcome, and we are very happy to have you here tonight. And your family friend, Mrs. Iveta Sabolová, vítejte, dobrý večer. And also Dave Lanhoff, who came from the USA in summer. Welcome to the Education High School for this night. You are our special guest. Chtěla bych omluvit a zároveň říci velké pozdravy od našich bývalých kolegů, kteří s námi každý rok se účastní tohoto krásného zážitku, Jany Kratochvílové a pana profesora Honzy Švarce, kteří se oba omlouvají a nemohli ze svých osobních důvodů se k nám dnes večer připojit. This tradition, wonderful tradition at the Energy High School was started 22 years ago by Andy Wendling, our colleague, our English conversation teacher, and every year we send our best wishes to his family. He lives with his wife and 2 children in Washington, D.C. But we also send our best regards to other colleagues of ours, to Chris Gregorio, to Rob Kenen, Jen Lossi, to Karen Zaremba, Daniel a Kamil Nečasovi, to Ryan Waterfield, Kelly Label, and other American colleagues who usually this day and night also send us their best wishes, and we exchange our memories in a very remote way. So we hope they will, with their families, have wonderful celebrations in their homes. Now, I would like to thank you, students of winter class and the first year class, for preparing wonderful program, also delicious pies and beautiful decorations, and my aunt a magazine. It is a secret, but we are all looking forward to it. And also, my great thanks go to Štěpánka Kondová, the main organizer, and also other colleagues of ours, Eliška Čihovská, Lucka Stačevská, Petra Klí, Eva Kordová, Eva Trasladová, and David Žák, who are leading you students in your preparations. And so my last sentence is enjoy this evening, and I would like to ask Brian Eichelberger to say his speech. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. And we feel very humbled to be here at this special event commemorating a national holiday in the United States. And I want to tell you briefly about the history of the Thanksgiving celebration, and then just share with you two principles that serve as the foundation, I believe, for Thanksgiving, and then one personal application for our family at this time of the year. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln made a proclamation that on the fourth Thursday of November, Thanksgiving would become a national holiday. And President Lincoln said this. He said, Thanksgiving, we give thanksgiving and praise to our benevolent Father who dwells in the heavens. In modern times, we celebrate Thanksgiving by inviting our family and friends to our homes to eat traditional foods like turkey and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes, sweet corn, cranberry, pumpkin pie, and apple pie. And many families in the United States gather to give thanks, to pray, and then after dinner to relax and watch American football. And we enjoy doing those things together. The first Thanksgiving originated with the Pilgrims in 1621. Many of you have heard the story of the Pilgrims. They were religious separatists who lived in England. And in 1620, because of the Church of England limiting their religious freedom, they determined to leave England and to leave Holland and to go to the New World, to go to the Americas. There were approximately 100 passengers on the Mayflower, and after several setbacks, they eventually sailed to America and arrived there after several months of being on the seas on November 9th, 1620. Of the 100 passengers that began the trip, by the end of that first winter, there were less than half of them who were still living. Because of scurvy and other diseases and the cold weather and everything being new, many of them died. Shortly after the winter, they began to establish a friendship with the Native American Indians. And one of the primary Indians who assisted them, his name was Squanto. Squanto had served as a slave in England, and so he knew English. And he was able to translate between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. And he served as an interpreter, a translator. He also taught the Pilgrims how to catch eels, as well as how to plant corn. And through that first spring, the Native Americans and the Pilgrims became friends, and the Indians taught the pilgrims how to hunt for deer, how to hunt for turkey, how to catch crab and lobster, and how to plant their seeds between two pieces of fish into the ground to provide fertilizer for the seeds to grow. That coming fall, in the harvest time, the pilgrims were very thankful. They were thankful, first of all, to God for providing for them, and secondly, they were thankful to the native Indians for the way that they assisted them. And so they held a 3-day feast. And at that feast, they had foods like turkey, and crab, and eel, and lobster, and onions, and carrots, and fruits and berries. And it was at that time the pilgrims expressed their thanks to both God and to the Native Americans. And that is the history of the original Thanksgiving that was later proclaimed a national holiday in 1863. Now, as I think about Thanksgiving, there are two principles underlying or serving as the foundation of Thanksgiving that come to my mind. And the first principle is that, which is very obvious, is that of giving thanks. And to give thanks is to simply recognize that someone else has treated you with kindness. And that the early pilgrims gave thanks, first of all, as I mentioned, to God for His provision, and secondly, to the Native Americans for the kindness that they showed to them and assisting them and helping them to get established in a new country. The second principle that comes to my mind, which is less obvious, is the principle or the characteristic of kindness. Kindness is that characteristic where an individual recognizes the value, the worth, and the eternal dignity of the individual. And because of that, they seek to meet the needs of that individual. And I believe that the Native American Indians did that for the pilgrims. They recognized that there was a need that the pilgrims had, and so they assisted them in hunting, and in trading, and in fishing, and in planting. And they showed kindness to them. Even though the pilgrims were from a different country, knew a different language, were not used to the geography of the new land, they helped the pilgrims get established in that place. And as I think about those two principles, I am reminded that this Thanksgiving, for our family, we did not cross the Atlantic Ocean on a boat or a ship, but we came on a plane. But we left our family, we left 3 of our older children, and we came to a place that was a new culture, a new language, and we had to learn how to buy a car and to get a visa and to shop. And we are very thankful at this time of the year for the kindness that many Czech people here in České Budějovice have shown to us. They've assisted us and they've helped us to get established. We want to thank your school, your administrator, your principals, your academic, your teachers for helping our daughter Megan and our family to feel welcomed here in this new place, in this new culture. And for us, right now in the United States, our families are either preparing the Thanksgiving dinner or they are sitting down to eat that. We are not able to be with them, but we are very thankful at this time of the year that we have been assisted and helped by so many of you. I want to conclude by sharing with you this statement from a very well-known author in the United States by the name of Brennan Manning. And this is what he says: "In every encounter, we either give life or we drain it. There is no neutral exchange. We enhance human dignity or we diminish it. The success or failure of a given day is measured by the quality of our interest and compassion toward those around us. We define ourselves by our response to human need. The question is not how we feel about ourselves or about our neighbor, but what we have done for him or her. We reveal our heart in the way we listen to a child, speak to the person who delivers the mail, bear an injury, and share our resources with the needy. And one of the things that I know about your school is that you have people from different countries and different nationalities. And you have reached out to those people, and you have showed kindness. And my encouragement to all of us at this, as we celebrate this American tradition, is to see the value and the worth of everybody around you, and reach out to them, and show kindness to them. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your very special evening.
Thank you. Would you like to say several sentences as well? Thank you.
Děkuju. Dobrý den. Hi, all the way back there. How are you? My name is Dale Lindhoff. I moved to the Czech Republic 10 months ago next week, so just over 9 months ago. Once again, this is a tough speech to follow. That was awesome. I am extremely thankful. Went through the same things you did. Thankful for everybody that helped me get established here. I don't speak the language. I understand it, but I don't speak it. I don't really understand it. That's a joke. But so I'm very thankful for the kindness of all the Czech people. Thank you for inviting me today. Thanksgiving in my family has always been a time that we get together as a family, and we each one of us go around the table and discuss why we give thanks for that day. What are we thankful for the year? And I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for all the Czech people for taking me in and allowing an American to live here and help me the way you guys have. The Czech people have been awesome. I've met several of you here at the school. I think you are all awesome. Your administration is great, and that's awesome, not awesome. So there's a story behind that. But thank you very much. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, and once more, enjoy the evening together with us. Thank you.
Jestli poslechneme, já budu mluvit bez mikrofonu, jestli lidský hlas pronikne až k tomu poslednímu místu tamhle, bez mikrofonu, bez pomoci, ale jenom prostě z vlastních zdrojů. Brian, it was very amusing and rich in information what you told us. And I'm very thankful for Kvanto, the Red Indian, who was able to interpret, because he knew English, he was able to interpret and enable the Americans, the Pilgrims, communicate with the Indians. And you are going to be communicators who will mediate the message and who will help others to feel home in your home country or go to other countries to represent your home country. That's only one bit from the message Mr. Eichelberger, Brian, brought to you. So that's one piece of it. Kvanto was very helpful and helped the others, the visitors, to survive and find their home. Another amazing thing is that we can see in our visitors, in Megan's family, in the Eichelbergers and some others, those modern pilgrims who came looking for their home in another country. So that's one thing. And what I want to point out, the first years, první ročník, the first years are in fact new in this school. They have been here for less than 3 months, and they started their friendship, and they are learning to communicate together and collaborate together. And maybe partly this was the reason why we decided to start collecting their early memories in a magazine. So we made an attempt to start a school magazine on the occasion of this Thanksgiving celebration. So maybe half of it is Thanksgiving, but that's the main thing. we wish the first years to feel like home in this school for the following 4 years and to carry on treasuring and collecting their memories. So I would like to ask the staff, the editors of the magazine to bring the first print here, the first issue. And every student from the first class will get their issue, and in the future you can contribute to it. And Sasha and Mikhail, would you please present some of the issues to our visitors, to our guests, and to those teachers who helped you.
So thank you very much for attention. Now the electricity or the technique.
Tak, já jenom doufám, že jste všichni rozuměli tomu, co bylo řečeno už přede mnou a že se k tomu rádi vrátíme. Rádi se vrátíme k některým námětům, které tady byly.
So, as I was saying, you will now hear a song called Hallelujah. You will see a little play about Pilgrim Fathers and their journey to the New World, America.
Teď vám Quinta zahraje moji scénku o historii Thanksgiving.
alone in the shoreline of the North Sea. Dozens of separate families stand on the dock.
Jonathan, put these tools in my bag.
Be careful, John. We have a habit.
The Brewsters and the other families are waiting for a ship that will take them to Amsterdam, the largest city in Holland.
It's so dark, Father, I'm scared.
The ship will be here soon.
A thick fog covers the sea.
Wait, I think I see light.
At last, the ship is here.
Quiet, patience. If the king hears us, we will all be hanged.
Is that true, Mother?
No, John, that is a big imagination, but we must be careful. If any of the men are caught, King James will put them all in prison.
Come aboard, everyone!
English soldiers approach on horseback. The king has sent them to stop the separatists from escaping.
Jonathan, hand me my musket.
Mrs. Brewster turns to her husband.
The soldiers have found us. We say we'll all be killed.
The separatists call themselves saints. In their eyes, they are God's chosen people.
Be strong, Mary. The ship is here.
Lift the anchor, man. We are off.
Wind fills the sails and the ship leaves the dock. Brewsters are safely on board.
Now the king's men can hurt us anymore.
Soon we'll be free to practice our own religion as pure and simple as we like. All men are free in Holland.
A cold wind blows across the deck and the rain begins to fall. After a stormy voyage, the ship arrives at Amsterdam.
The canals are so pretty here, and I love the glitter of wooden shoes.
But because of a conflict with our settlers, the separatists decide to move to Leiden, a small town in Holland.
Look at all of these windmills. The most important thing is that we can worship God in peace.
Yes, Father, and I made new Dutch friends.
We can even speak Dutch. Yes,
That means good morning.
Mr. and Mrs. Brewster look at each other. Later, they talk quietly.
If we stay in Holland, our children will forget the English language and all of our customs.
yes, and it's difficult to make a living here.
Most of the separatists grew up on farms. In Leiden, they must work in the cloth mills. A dozen years pass, the separatist group now numbers almost 600.
Brian Bradford is on his way over.
Bradford, a young man, has become the leader of the group.
I hear him at the door.
Welcome, Mr. Bradford.
Good evening, sir. We have important business to discuss. As you know, life here is difficult. Some of us think it is best to leave here.
Where can we go?
Let us try our luck in the new world.
The separatists negotiate with businessmen in London for financial support for their journey. Patience and Jonathan, now grown up, decide to stay in Holland. The separatists need a large ship and of supplies to make the long voyage.
I will give you ship and supplies under one condition. For the first 7 years, you must send me everything you earn.
7 years, we have nothing to show for our.
Forget it.
We are staying here!
Most separatists decide not to make the journey.
Why should I finance your trip? If so few of you are going, I will find others to accompany you.
We sense cancer with strangers. What if they are bad people?
You heard my conditions. Either you travel with others or you stay here.
Like the saints, most of the people they call strangers are seeking for a better life in the new world. After many delays, the pilgrims depart from their ship, the Mayflower, from Plymouth, England, in September 1620. The group plans to settle in English territory, controlled by the Virginia Company.
What was this journey?
Only 37 saints from the Leeds community are involved. Of the more than 100 passengers, about 30 are children, below deck.
It stinks in here.
You stink, Francis.
Mice scurry at their feet.
I'm gonna be.
Don't be from me.
Storms rock the Mayflower and many passengers get seasick.
This lousy biscuit chipped my food. It's as hard as a rock.
Stop your complaining. My biscuit was filled with bugs.
The strangers and the saints try to get along, but tensions run high during the 65-day voyage.
We are almost there. Soon we can abandon the so-called saints.
What should we say? We must work together in the new world.
During the journey, the Mayflower is blown off course. In November, the weary passengers find themselves off the coast of Cape Cod.
Winter is approaching and we are almost out of food. Why don't we stay here?
Alright, but we had better establish some laws. Don't forget, we are on our own. Who knows how we can trust these strangers?
The leaders of both groups come to an agreement.
In the presence of God and one another, we combine ourselves together into a civil-bodied collective for our better ordering and preservation.
41 men signed the Mayflower Compact. They elected Carver as their first governor.
We are all in this together.
In December, the Pilgrims find a hilly stretch on the mainland, near present-day Boston, where they built Plymouth Colony.
Winters here are miserable.
I'll say, I miss London.
For weeks, there is nothing but rain, sleet, or snow.
At least we built a meeting room and a few small houses.
The men work quickly. Some of the children help.
Wearing all those clothes has made me tired and thirsty.
Too bad the water got froze.
During the first winter, more than one half of the Pilgrims died, many from starvation.
If we don't get help soon, we'll lose all of our people.
We must continue to pray.
In March, an Indian named Somerset arrives at the colony.
Imagine a real-life Indian.
Men were afraid that he would attack us, but he's friendly.
Somerset doesn't speak much English. He promises to send his friend, Squanto, to help the Pilgrims.
At last, Squanto is here.
Greetings! I have no other Englishmen before you. They taught me your language.
We are glad to see you. Our people are suffering greatly.
Squanto shows the Pilgrims how to plant corn in a new way. In each row, he buries a small fish.
Will the corn smell bad?
Not at all. The fish will help the corn grow. It's fertilizer.
Thanks to Squanto, many crops grow. Corn, beans, and squash. He also builds bread frame.
We owe you a huge debt. Bring your people here for a feast.
The Pilgrims and the Indians play games together at their harvest celebration. They eat corn, deer, fish, and peas.
First, must the white man talk the Great Spirit. Then we can eat.
Students in the first grade prepare for you.
Teď uvidíte, co si pro vás připravili žáci z prvního ročníku.
Thanksgiving Day. It's the most important day of the year and I'm all alone.
Why are you sad?
Hi Lucy, nice to see you. I'm sad because I'm all alone on Thanksgiving Day, just like every year.
But you have this delicious food.
Yes, we are. No, I'm not. To me.
What good is the food to me when I don't have anyone to share it with?
What? He's going to eat us? Well, of course he's going to eat us then. That's right. That's what's good. Shh. Will he hear us? Calm down, everyone. He can hear us.
Did you hear that? I think the food can talk.
What? You crazy? You think the food can talk?
He's so silly. Of course we can talk. Then listen to him, girl.
Can you stay for a while? I'd like to tell you something about the history of it.
I can say.
Okay. In the year 1621, the Pilgrims came to America. They had nothing to eat, so many of them had died. After the first winter, they met an Indian named Squanto. He taught them how to grow corn.
I hate corn. We all do. I hate potatoes.
And all sorts of other things to eat.
For example, pumpkin. Those pilgrims have eaten my great.
Oh my God, eat him already.
Would you like to eat with me?
Please don't eat me. Please. No. Finally, let's go. It's your destiny.
On that first Thanksgiving Day, natives also clothing brown come to visit Plymouth town. Side by side they ate and prayed on that first Thanksgiving Day.
Yo, let's be thankful for this day, for our friends and for our play.